What is up, guys? Kane here, and in this one we're gonna talk about the exclusive shop in terms of the homecoming servers and what stuff the people should buy, invest in, the Linari and stuff like that. There are a lot of things to buy, and some of them I am not entirely sure if Linari is actually worth the cost. So let's start with the stronghold level purchase. So we have 9 hours bill rush for 150 Linari. Now, in terms of the newer servers, whenever I started myself, it was actually pretty efficient to buy this one. And this basically turns to 2 hours for 200 Linari. And I do believe I was buying this for like the first couple of months or so, maybe 3 months, because I was winning events. And I used this to boost up my castle as well. So, if people would come out into this server, spend a little bit of money, win events, win Linari, and then you had this much Linari to spend for Bill Rush. This is like, what, 36 hours total for 600? That is pretty freaking crazy in the amount of Bill Rushes that people are able to get. I do believe that majority of these Bill Rushes are actually pretty decent value for the cost provided. You either will get to rush your castle level higher. Castle level higher means higher troop tiers, higher hero levels, higher buildings. Research unlocks more tiers and better researches, so some stuff you can skip for later and just strictly upgrade further. So personally, I deem that majority of these bill rushes are actually pretty decent to get, depending how much Linari you're spending on the game, or rather money spending on the game, and how much events you're winning. These ones really kind of good in my own opinion. Stuff not to buy. I'm not entirely sure if the experience is actually pretty decent for the cost. I mean, sure it is, but maybe a few times buying for like your main hero to increase the level. The thing is, majority of the early game is not really high level heroes. It's mainly just 1 or 2 heroes higher level, which you can just simply invest from multiple of events, features, all that kind of stuff. Maybe just a couple of these would be okay, or from some other places, but essentially I would not really invest that much into experience. Then going for Dragon Steel, or rather Dragon Glass, I would not buy this. Eventually you're going to have too much, and anything you have invested into this will be voided. Rune Stones, not worth it, like really not worth it. Sure, you get to add +2 stuff to your temple, quicker upgrade, but not worth it in the long run. Like really not worth it, it's a waste. Now, Anima is questionable. This is a new feature, will be a new feature for you. You can get to upgrade quite decently, and we have not really played with Anima in the early game, none of us, so some of these buffs can actually skyrocket your stats in terms of army. So for example, frontline, if you like go for resistances, and you have like friggin' 80% resistances so friggin' early without many other features maxed, or 90 or whatever, I'm even questioning if like anything would do damage to those fields. So there is a possibility of this being like somewhat useful, but there's also a possibility of this not being too much of use as well, or as good for the Linari spend. I mean, 600 for about 200 boxes, I still think it's okay, but then again, you have to also adjust how much Linari you're getting and how much you're spending. Rushes are good, prisms are bad, do not buy this, not really worth the cost. Rushes are good, this is questionable. There is a lot of Theurgic shards here. You might upgrade your reliquary like quite quickly with this, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's so much Linari for Theurgics. It's really questionable. You have to judge for yourself whether or not you're gonna upgrade a lot, whether this boost would actually win you PvP, win you events, and whether you can scale that higher. This is a lot of Linari cost for something that might lose a lot of value the more and the further you upgrade the feature. So essentially what I mean is, this is only a quick boost for a decent amount of Linari, but the more Thurgic shards you get, the less and less of value they will bring you. So this is something you have to judge for yourself. And of course, Armory Stones, quite a lot of them actually. Since the feature is fairly new, like really fairly new, I think for the cost of the Linari spent right now, this is extremely efficient. More efficient to the point that it's like probably 500% more than just playing the Refining Master. So there's this particular one currently in terms of all the events played and how much you can get for like 200 Linari, because 200 Linari in Refining Master is like 4,000. Lucky Wheel gives you like what, 1,000 I think, or whatever if you land on it. So this is extremely efficient. If you unlock this, you just purchase it fully. Like, this is the best thing currently in, let's say, even the older servers, or like the value. Now, I'm not sure if the value will be the same to you perhaps, but for most older servers, we cannot get this particular resource quite a lot, even for this cost. If they gave us this ability to buy this, literally like 90% of the player base, maybe 95%, would actually purchase it fully. So that is like really efficient cost right there. And potential potions, I'm not entirely sure if this is actually worth the cost. This, I don't think. Rushes, like always, the rushes are pretty welcome. Now the Valor. Valor is actually a pretty big doozy though, because there are a lot of stuff to go through, and I'm not really sure this is like a very huge sort of a pay-to-win thing or so. So let's go from the very top. Runes, for this cost, this much, not worth it. This is a waste of Linari. Do not buy this. Like, really do not buy this, even if it would maybe has a chance to improve you. Do not buy this. This is like one of the worst values that you can get for your Linari. Then you have VIP 3 for Dragon Glass. Now that's a question, right? It depends if you really need this or not, but the further the game goes, the less this value would bring. So I have a max dragon, I can max a second dragon, and I can almost max a third dragon 1.5 years into the game. And I didn't spend any money on this. I didn't like purchase anything from events. I just got it by playing, and you're gonna get a lot more as you play. Your main goal is just one dragon, so essentially about half a year into the game, likely you're gonna literally max out one of those dragons. So spending Linari on this, unless you're like spending a ton of money, this is not really efficient to go for these two things. Rushes, somewhat welcome. This like value is a little bit lower than, let's say, these ones right here, but it's still rushes and they're still pretty good. This one as well, and then we just go towards VIP 4. This one, not worth it unless you like boost up and get a feature unlock, which would bring you more rewards or event rewards. If you're not gonna win events or PvP, if you buy this, this is a total waste. Same for runes. I don't think that the Linari cost meets the value. I mean, sure, if you get to upgrade, you win stuff, you win Linari back or whatever, then sure, it might meet the cost. But then again, like, these ones don't really meet up anything. Then, of course, you have similar to this, Anima boxes. Really questionable. This blue one is not worth it. The yellow one, questionable, perhaps worth it. It really depends on the luck and what you're able to get. But this is 800 boxes for 3.4 thousand Linari. I mean, towards the cost, and even for the older players, this is actually, I think, the best value that you would be able to possibly get for them, if I do count that correctly. So even majority of the players, if you give them a cost for 800 boxes, 90% of the players will also buy this. But I mean, people have to judge how well the Anima performs in the early servers. Again, since I wasn't part of that, likely the Covenant is actually one of the broken features in the early game as well, if you upgrade it properly. So this can either be a pretty huge boost to you, or this might be subpar because it also may work through other features as well. But like majority of the time, or even a little bit before I said, if you go for resistances and your army has like 90% plus, even on your server, kind of questioning whether or not the enemy would do damage. 30 shards, not worth it. Relics, not worth it. Runes, not worth it. Pet experience, not worth it. The cast iron, now this cost is on the bench. It's questionable. It's I don't know. This is quite a lot. This is like 5,000 Inari for 140,000. This is a good boost, not gonna lie, a good boost, but you have to judge yourself. This is like make or break. Because you're just gonna get this, but you're not gonna get like rewards that you would get from milestones of refining master and all that kind of stuff. So this decision is just for you to check. But I think this actually would meet the value for the cost. This one not worth it unless the same thing as the Sutra scrolls. This one not worth it, and then we have a custom advanced artifact box, 5,000 Inari, definitely worth it. Regardless of what people say, it is either like 20 bucks for most people, or you purchase this for Inari. So if you're spending very little money and you really need or require a specific artifact, this might meet the cost. I mean, 20 bucks is like a 1,230 what's it called, the Nari, and so this cost is like actually almost like triple the cost, or quadruple even. However, it's still something that would require paid money or Lenari. So for many free-to-play players, even if they would have this box, they would just generally buy this. Now this value right here, what the actual hell are they even thinking? Making 34,000 like value? What? This custom artifact doesn't even have that value of that much. Like uncommon shards don't have the value of like this much Lenari. 7 hours, what is this like valuing of the Lenari? What the hell? I just noticed that some of these values are actually like pretty friggin' random. Like, not gonna lie, they should just, what? I mean, where the hell are they getting these values from? This one is not worth it. Questionable if worth it. I mean, for me, I would never buy this because I already have majority of my relics maxed. But for new servers, might be okay. Dragon, Draconic Dust, Dragon Glass, Build Rush, Divine Custom Made, not worth it, I don't think, unless you really, really want one and you're spending a lot. But aside from that, this is not worth it. This one, probably also not worth it. I'm not sure. It depends if you get a breakthrough and you get something. This is likely worth it, but only for very old servers. So likely when this timer is like a few days left or whatever, or you get some divine equipment in terms of your covenant or almost, then this sort of cost may actually be pretty decent for what you're able to get. But it really depends like on quite a few things, but mainly due to the fact that it helps divine covenant. Then we have what are these boxes? Cast iron, fine steel, armament, pure stone, 9-hour tech rush, 30 shards. What? I don't think that this is worth it, unless I'm not seeing anything that I should be seeing. but I don't think that this is like really worth it. This is basically the same cost for cast iron. Wait, no, this is cheaper. Yeah, this is not worth it. Then we have custom divine troop equipment, some astral stones. This is questionable. I mean, for new servers, you get a random piece and hope for the best. But 5,000 Linari, I don't think that this is worth it. Potential potions likely not worth it. Fine steel questionable since this is a new feature. Skin scrolls 50-50. I don't think you require skins early server. It doesn't help out that much, so this might also be a waste. Astral Stones, I don't think, unless again like Sutra Scrolls and others, if you get a feature upgrade or breakthrough and then you get some more stuff, then perhaps not worth it. The blue one, Draconic Dust, questionable, but still I don't think the cost meets the what you're able to get, so also not worth it. Dragon ability, I don't even need to read what anything else it has in here. I see a dragon ability, 6,000. This value is huge. Huge. Like, this has to be purchased if you're VIP 14. This skin scroll, questionable if worth it. That's a lot of Linari. Then you have a true prism, a divine prism box, some stuff. You likely want to buy this as well. There are a lot of Pill Rush. I mean, if you play Forest Claim for similar or close to similar amount of Linari, you're gonna get it plus other rewards, but pretty much it's just like plus 1 or 2,000 Linari worth of stuff or whatever. Then skin scroll is not worth it. Again, I don't think you require skins in early servers. And that's like, I suppose 18,000 Linari for a skin. For that much Linari and trying to, you know, play Lucky Wheel or whatever, it's cheapest way to get the skin, let's say. However, if you do that, you only want to get a skin for Valor, Avril, that 10% stat boost or whatever. Anything else, not worth it. The scroll scraps, not worth it. The level 0 armament stones, for this amount of cost, this is likely pretty friggin' good deal, not gonna lie. And that is, I suppose, pretty much it for the exclusive shop. I think this video is about like, what, 20 minutes long, but the shop is actually pretty friggin' huge and a lot to go about. Hopefully the information for you was pretty useful. I think I skipped this particular one and this one. These ones are not worth it as well. But pretty much the stuff that is actually worth it, I did cover up in the video and comments and all that kind of stuff. Aside from that, yeah, the blue ones, they don't seem to be much of any value. Do keep in mind that there are features and events that you may also want to spend your Linari on. Those can be in stuff like the Lucky Wheel per se, right? Not only Lucky Wheel, you're gonna have Forest Claim, Bazaar, you're gonna have like even Dragon ability or whatever. So just going all out on that homecoming exclusive shop is not really the best way to go about your things. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks for watching, and if you would wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do just that. And as well as I would be able to help you more individually in terms of events, perhaps even the shops, formations, what you should focus on, and stuff like that. As well as I would like to thank 4 of my patrons for subscribing. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and stay safe out there.